Hey everybody, welcome back to Vedic Sage. I'm Dr. Dhaliwal, and today we're going to be talking about the all-important Agni. Now, Agni is the digestive fire or the digestive capacity within the gastrointestinal tract. Agni has certain qualities which we've talked about before, which are hot, sharp, light, dry, and subtle. We also talked about if we take in certain elements that have similar or like qualities to Agni, that's going to help to promote optimal function of the digestive capacity. And on the other hand, if we take in certain elements that have opposing qualities to Agni, such as heavy, dense, dull foods, this is going to impair the digestive capacity or the digestive fire, which can lead to indigestion. We also talked about in a previous video that with an impaired Agni or digestive fire, this can lead to the production of undigested food material, and from an Ayurvedic perspective, this is considered ama, which is toxic to the body. In a previous video, we also talked about dipan, which is the notion of taking certain herbs or elements that will come to stimulate or kindle this Agni flame and improve the digestive capacity. Today we're going to focus on pachana, which is the notion of burning the ama or neutralizing the ama directly independent of the function of Agni. So the use of dipans were to directly kindle the flame of Agni for the purpose of preventing further production of ama and to burn off some of the accumulated ama. Now we're going to focus on pachana, which is the notion of using certain elements that will help to burn or neutralize this ama or undigested food material. We also have to take into account where do these doshas predominate or where do they house themselves. For example, vata tends to accumulate within the colon, pitta within the small intestines, and kapha within the stomach or the fundus of the stomach. Now I mention this because as the ama associates with certain doshas, it takes on certain qualities. So ama in itself has a sticky quality. But if ama was associated with vata, it would have a sticky and dry type of quality and therefore may lead to constipation, IBS, or even arthritis because the nutrients that are absorbed within the colon, calcium, magnesium, and all these minerals, actually go to feed the periosteum of the bone tissue, and therefore that sticky and rough quality can lead to arthritis. In the same manner, if ama associates with pitta, it's going to have the sticky quality of ama, but take on the hot and liquid quality of pitta, and therefore have characteristics or qualities of inflammation. And this type of ama tends to stagnate within the liver or the gallbladder, or even stay within the blood system. And this can manifest as hepatitis, cholecystitis, heat within the blood that can express itself as hives, rashes, urticaria, eczema, psoriasis. And if ama is associated with kapha, ama in itself is sticky, but takes on the heavy and dense qualities of kapha, and therefore would express and manifest as sinus congestion, pulmonary congestion, lymphedema, fibrocystic changes. So this stresses the importance of first determining whether or not there's ama present within the body, and if the ama is present, is the ama associated with certain qualities of the doshas. Now, in order to determine whether or not there's ama present within the body, we can look at the tongue, and from an Ayurvedic perspective, depending on whether or not there's coating on the tongue, it will help us to assess whether or not there's ama present, and if so, where in the GI system this ama is located. For example, if you look at the tongue, and if there's generalized coating or predominantly coating on the anterior 1/3 of the tongue, okay, the tip of the tongue, and it has a lighter or whitish type of coating to it, that's more commonly associated with a kapha ama. So kapha ama we can manage with trikatu, which is basically the formulation of black pepper, pipali, and ginger. If there's a coating in the middle 1/3 of the tongue, often associated with yellow or greenish coloration, this is more commonly associated with pitta ama, and that can be managed with chitrak, praval, panchamrit, or trikatu. And lastly, if there's coating in the posterior or back 1/3 of the tongue, commonly associated with a darkish or black coloration, this is more associated with vata ama, and that can be managed with trikatu, haritaki, and hingvastak churna. So this was just an overview to stress the importance of this digestive fire known as Agni, which is ultimately the digestive capacity of the gastrointestinal tract. We've touched upon how to maintain optimal function of Agni, which is taking in certain elements that are like qualities to Agni, hot, sharp, light, dry, and subtle. And in this video, we talked about the notion of pachana, which are certain herbs which will work directly on the ama to help neutralize or burn that ama off. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, take care, be well.